Incremental budgeting. Incremental budgeting. Now, incremental budgeting is a traditional budgeting method that involves adjusting the previous year's budgets by a fixed percentage. Adjusting previous year's budget with a percentage of, say, 10%. You increase all expenses by 10% and all that. Okay, so it is a traditional method that involves adjusting the previous year's budgets by a fixed percentage. And it could be just a small increase or small decrease. So you can see currently that one is a relatively very simple approach that relies on historical data to predict future costs. What are the benefits of incremental budgets? Simplicity, of course. Simplicity. It's very simple. You just, to the budget elements, you just apply an increase or a decrease. It is a straightforward approach that requires minimal analysis and effort. Very easy to understand and also implement, especially for organizations with stable operations. Another benefit of the incremental budget is consistency and stability. Consistency and stability. Consistency and stability. By building on previous year's budgets, incremental budgeting provides a sense of continuity and stability, and that can be beneficial for organizations that operate in relatively stable environments. These budgets, as you can also guess, leads to reduced administrative burden, the administration has little burden. It requires less time and resources to prepare such a budget as compared to other types of budgets, such as the zero-based budgeting, which requires that every expense has to be justified. So this can reduce the workload on finance and accounting departments. There's the element of predictability. Predictability is possible because the incremental budgeting provides a predictable framework for budgeting, which then makes it easy to plan and allocate resources, and that can help to ensure that essential functions are adequately funded. 5, reduced conflict. Incremental budgets can reduce conflicts because there will be very little conflict between departments or between departments and managers, because it promotes a sense of fairness and a sense of equity in resource allocation. So these are benefits. What are the limitations? Limitations of incremental budgeting. Of course, there is lack of innovation, and efficiency. This method tends to perpetuate existing spending patterns, which then discourages innovation and efficiency. in the organization. It may not identify opportunities for cost savings or even revenue growth. All right. Now give me any other limitation. Inflexibility. Is it not a disadvantage? These budgets may not be flexible enough to adapt to changing circumstances such as economic downturns or even new market opportunities, because may not allow for the allocation of resources to higher priority areas, because already we've seen that there is just a percentage that is applied to the previous year's budget to get the current year's. So there is no room for incorporating changes that may be occasioned by market conditions and changes. Risk of inefficiency. There is risk of inefficiency because it may lead to inefficient allocation of resources, as it may not prioritize the most important activities or investments, and that can result in wasted resources and missed opportunities. Limited strategic focus. Number 4. The fourth disadvantage, limited strategic focus. Incremental budgeting often lacks a strong strategic focus because it primarily concerned with maintaining the status quo. It may not align with the organization's long-term goals. Potential for overspending. There is also potential for overspending. If not carefully monitored, incremental budgeting can lead to overspending because it may not adequately scrutinize existing expenses. Because here the budgets are just adjusted by a percentage, which can create room for overspending. So that is the incremental budgeting.